think about market for our skin and hides. We must think about markets for the entirety of the livestock value chain. It is the reason why we have committed £1 billion shillings to complete, for example, the Kenanie project that is going to deal with our skins and hides. It is the reason why we are investing in Narok, additional resources to make sure that we build the capacity for handling our hides and skins, and to begin the journey to make sure that these hides and skins translate into products, whether we talk about shoes or other leather products manufactured in Kenya. Early next year, I will be presiding over the Kenanie project opening that will give us 500 acres with the most modern treatment plant that will be available in Kenya. And I am asking the pastoralist community, as we provide offtake for your skins and hides, we must work backwards with counties so that we can make sure that the recovery of hides and skins from our abattoirs, from our other facilities that are being used is both correct and we use the right equipment, because some of the time we lose a lot of that skins and hides because of the flaying mechanism and the flaying capability. Mweke here and his team, the PS responsible, are working on building a relationship with counties so that we can train the flayers, we can make sure that we give you the correct knives for flaying so that we enhance the recovery of hides and skins so that we can use them to drive our economy and especially on the livestock products space. Secondly, we are also working, and I want county governments, especially from these pastoralist communities, to work with us on making sure that we improve on the breed of the livestock that we have, both for milk and for beef. When I met Prime Minister Modi, we agreed that we are going to have a collaborative program that is going to enhance the quality and the types of livestock that we keep, especially those that are sensitive and those that can sustain the climatic condition that exist in our arid and semi-arid areas. And therefore, we have a whole array of interventions and how we can build the capacity to produce more locally. Also, to make sure that we open up market for our livestock products, we must manage our disease prevalence. We must manage the diseases that come with ticks and all the other things that come along. And it is the reason why I have made a policy decision that because we have never been able to manage disease around Kenya, because we vaccinate in one county, the other county has not vaccinated, disease move from here to there. We are going to carry out a national campaign, a national vaccination exercise that is going to make sure that we vaccinate our 22 million heads of cattle and 50 million heads of small stock, goats and sheep. And that exercise is because it is necessary. That vaccination is necessary because we want to create a disease-free country, and so that we can market our livestock products to destinations that today we have been denied access to certain destinations because of our disease control inadequacies. That is the primary reason. And for the avoidance of doubt, the vaccines that we will be using are produced in Kenya by Kenyans. Kevevapi, our own institution, is going to produce these vaccines. We have one of the largest vaccine producers in Africa, in Kenya. Today we are selling vaccines to other countries. And I want to tell livestock keepers, starting from myself, because among the livestock that is going to be vaccinated is my own cattle. You know? So there is an evil spirit in Kenya that is resident in some leaders. They churn out falsehood. They oppose everything for the sake of opposing. I mean, foot and mouth disease, PPR, are diseases we have been fighting ever since I was born. It is nothing new. So anybody opposing vaccination to eliminate FMD and PPR is simply mad and unreasonable and possibly stupid. I mean, honestly, how else can you explain? You know? Or maybe they don't have cattle. Maybe they don't understand what this is all about. You know? So if you are used to planting things, you don't know about livestock, please, when we are having a conversation about livestock, shut up. At least for those of us who keep cattle. So we are going to carry out this vaccination because it is the right thing to do. Because we need to take charge of disease control and open up markets for our animal products. And we are going to use vaccines that are produced by Kenya right here at home, so that even as we develop vaccines that we are selling to other countries, we are doing the same to our country. Let me also say that, like its predecessors, this summit is a critical forum for advancing key agenda, and its legacy reflects very positive impacts. The first summit held in Narok in 2014 shone light on peace, security, and infrastructure deficit, which required urgent attention. In 2016, the Isiolo Summit advocated for the operationalization of the Equalization Fund and the expansion of livestock markets. The Garissa Summit in 2019, for its part, focused on socio-economic development and counter-radicalization and the promotion of community climate resilience. Your deliberations here are not in vain, because we will deal with them, and I am committed to ensuring that the consensus you strike here must inform government policy. As you know, the policy and institutional outcomes of the past summits included the implementation of the Equalization Fund, the Livestock Marketing Board, and the National Livestock Insurance Program. These initiatives have since been implemented to reflect our commitment to partner with you to enhance drought resilience and promote sustainable development. And let me request at this point that the leadership of the Pastoralist Summit work with my Minister for Livestock so that next week we can identify and appoint the leadership of the Livestock Marketing Board. I mean next week. And it must include women, so that we don't have it must include women. So, Mweke, you're representing the minister here. Next week, by Thursday, we should have that Pastoralist Marketing Board appointed, the leadership, and work with the leadership of the pastoralists so that we can identify the right people and the people who understand the subject matter of how we want to move ahead together. Recognizing persistent disparities in ASAL regions, the government of Kenya launched a 2 billion North and Northeastern Development Initiative, commonly known as NEDI, to address historical neglect and promote inclusive growth. To enhance its effectiveness going forward, I have directed that its implementation be implemented now from my office. And therefore, Rashid and your team will now move to my office so that I can keep tabs on what is going on. The newly established Livestock and Marketing and Products Board is key to organizing pastoralists into cooperatives and ensuring equitable market access. The Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, as I have said, will expedite the appointment of the board and to make it operational by next week. Ladies and gentlemen, the modernization of pastoralist economies is crucial. This can be achieved by promoting the adoption of modern cooperative frameworks to manage production and increase the productivity of livestock and natural resource value chain. In this connection, I have instructed the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives to strengthen cooperative movement in northern Kenya and work with counties to train those responsible for the management of these cooperatives. Additionally, Equalization Fund continues to mitigate marginalization, having supported many projects in the past. And I was looking at the statistics this morning. You're all aware Equalization Fund was set up subsequent to the 2010 Constitution because of the inequalities that existed in our country and the need to bridge the gap between counties and regions that were way ahead of the others. I know there have been many policy changes in between, but the numbers speak for themselves. When I was asked by the pastoralist leadership for the full implementation of the Equalization Fund, I can now confirm that between last year and this year, we have identified 1,000